Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Monday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Appreciate y'all as always for being here with us. Hope you had a great weekend. Of course, we did have some rain this weekend, so if you had any roof issues, you can always give us a shout at, well, 364-1007, 364-1007. Okay. What a interesting day, man. LSU women, they lose the SEC tournament championship game every year under Kim Mulkey. Now 3 years, they've gone one step further in the SEC tournament. They went from losing in the opening round to winning a game and losing on Saturday, now to winning two games and losing on Sunday. But maybe I guess that means next year they'll win it. Every year they've taken one step further under Kim Mulkey, but that, of course, is secondary to what happened at the game in the final couple of minutes there. If you weren't watching, you probably heard by now that there was a little bit of a scuffle. I If you didn't see it, I'm sure most everybody has by now. LSU's losing. Flage's bringing the ball up. South Carolina girl picks her pocket, and instead of letting her get a clean break layup, Flage holds her. Well, which is a smart play. I mean, just foul her. Don't let her go get the layup. The one South Carolina player came up and got in Flage's face, so Flage pushes her. And then Cardoza, the center from South Carolina, who's 6'7", 6'8", whatever, comes and just like dump trucks Flage. He just ran into her, knocked her down. And then, of course, the bench is clear. Flage's brother jumps out of the stands over the scorer's table. He gets escorted out by police. It was a whole scene. In the end, all the players that left the bench area were ejected, so they all had to leave. Cardoza was disqualified for fighting, so she'll probably miss their South Carolina's opening round game in the NCAA tournament. Not that that'll matter because they'll beat somebody by a million. And I just kept thinking to myself, man, this is so. And the delay was 15 minutes. I mean, I was like, this is so much drama and consequence for something so minor. I mean, like it wasn't like this brawl or anything like that. I mean, it wasn't the malice at the palace. It was one girl knocked another girl down. I mean, anyway, so it was disappointing that LSU lost the game. Thought they played hard, 3 games in 3 days, especially shorthanded. Angel Reese keeps walking in. She's in a walking boot when she's not on the floor. Obviously, we all know they didn't have last year POA, so they're a shorthanded squad right now and trying their best. But they're playing hard and still say they're playing their best basketball. And they were down and rallied to get back in it late, but just came up a little short. So in any event, we'll see if I'm sure they'll meet again in the Final Four. So got to get there. So hope the Tigers can get healthy and play well. They'll host certainly the first 2 rounds at the Maravich Center. So we'll see what the draw is on Selection Sunday or on Selection Monday, I guess. So anyway, we'll see what the draw is, and we'll get that word. Okay. Also, we'll say some good mornings here in a second. Also, the baseball Tigers lost the series finale to Xavier 2-1. Bats went silent. It was unfortunate. LSU only managed 2 runs or 1 run, on 5 hits, and the run was unearned. There was a ground ball to second. The kid booted it. The really disappointing thing is how many times, as good as they were offensively on Saturday, and I complimented them a lot, the ability to have a team concept and get on, get over, get in. I mean, it was encouraging as the offense was, as good as the offense was on Saturday, I should say. Boy, they really struggled, especially getting lead runners on base. Let's see. Milam led off the game with a single. In the second, Pearson walked and they got nothing. In the third, Braswell singled. They left 2 on base. In the fourth, coincidentally, Pearson grounded out to start the inning, and then Jones tripled off the wall. And then after Jones's triple, Larson struck out, and then Bingham reached on the ground ball error to second base, which again should be like you should have not gotten that run home if they fielded a ground ball at second base. It's in the first 3 innings, and then in the 6th, you reached on an error. This was the one that got me. So you're down 2-1 in the 6th. And, if you watch the game, you know where I'm going. You're down 2-1 in the 6th. Jones reaches on an error. They change pitchers. Kling gets hit by a pitch on a 3-1 pitch. Kling. So the guy has been wild. So you got first and second, nobody out. You're down 2-1. And as we all know, what happened here, LSU elected to bunt Mac Bingham. So they bunt, pitcher comes off the mound, fields it, throws to third, gets the lead runner out. So now you've given up an out and you didn't even advance the runner. Braswell struck out, and then Milam flied out. So you got the first 2 runners on, 2 on, nobody out, down 2-1, and you couldn't get a runner home. You know my feeling. Absolutely hate bunting. I'm only okay. I'll say this for the bajillionth time. I'm okay bunting for a hit or bunting to score a run. I would trade an out for a run. But trading an out to advance a runner, there is no mathematical probability. And this isn't my opinion. Like this is mathematical fact based on all the analytics. There is no mathematical probability that increases the odds of scoring a run when you exchange an out for a base. Meaning, and it doesn't matter the out or runner combination. It doesn't matter if you have 1 on, nobody out, man on second, 1 out, first and second, nobody. It doesn't matter. If you exchange an out to advance a runner, there is no situation where your probability of scoring the run increases because you've given up an out. So I hated that decision. And I get it. Nobody's going to question the coach, but y'all know how I feel. And you didn't get the run home. So don't take the bat out of your seniors' hands. You got first and second. The pitcher hasn't shown he can throw a strike. And actually, the bunt came on a 3. It was 3-0. So the hit by pitch was on 3-1, and then he was 3-0. Finally got a strike across at 3-1, and then they bunted. So like, make that guy continue to pump strikes. Anyway, so but the real story, I guess, less consequential, is the final result. More consequential is Thatcher Hurd was really good again. So he's rounding into form. It seems that Thatcher gave you 5 innings of 1-run baseball, and it was an unearned run. So he struck out 9. He walked just 1, gave up 4 hits. So Thatcher Hurd was really, really good. Ackenhausen ran into a little bit of a speed bump, allowed another run to score. It was the 6th. It was the 6th. Yeah. They got runs in the 5th and the 6th. So anyway, disappointing that the Tigers lost. But like I'll continue to say, more consequential is Thatcher Hurd pitched great, and your pitching continues to do what we expect it to do. One other quick note. We'll get to your comments, questions, and stuff here in a sec. We'll say some good mornings. And you do have back-to-back midweek games this week. You have a Tuesday, Thursday midweek against North Dakota State. But the other thing is, I don't know, like, I I understand. I haven't read your comments yet. I'm sure there's some people that are going to talk about the order and the offense. But keep in mind, like when you go to Mississippi State on Friday, like your lineup is going to look a little different than this. Like they gave Ashton Larson a start in left. Um, they caught Travinsky and DH Neal. I don't think they gave Zeb Ruddle a pinch hit at bat. Jake Brown got a pinch hit at bat, which he got on base too. He got hit by a pitch. But anyway, my point is, and then and on Saturday as well, you had let's see, Ethan Fry started Saturday. Uh, you had a bunch of subs. I'm not running. Point is, when they go play at Mississippi State on Friday, like your outfield is going to be Bingham, Kling, Pearson. Like we know that. Your middle infield is going to be Braswell and Milam. You have White at third. You have Jones at first. You're going to catch Neal. You're going to DH Travinsky. Like we kind of know what their best lineup is right now. Right now, it could change, but I can respect giving guys an opportunity when you already want a weekend. It's Sunday. Get out there, whatever. But anyway, whatever. Okay, let's say some good mornings here. Brad David, good morning. Silo, good morning. Jacob Willis, what's up? James McKinney. Juan, Pels are coming back from a road trip. Is this a spot to bet against the spread? So no, Juan. The spot that Otter talked about was when a team is on the road for 5 games and then comes home. The Pels road trip was only 3, so no. How about the Pels last night? Another win, man. They keep trucking along. I had a good day yesterday, man. Weather was beautiful. Sat outside yesterday. Um, threw some meat on the grill and enjoyed the weather last night. Might have had a whiskey. So good day, man. Tiger Diver, morning, Scone. What women's basketball players will be suspended? Do you think it's just one game? So none. The not from LSU anyway. Camila Cardoza from South Carolina was the one that was disqualified. All the players that left the bench area were uh, were ejected for leaving the bench area, but none of them were disqualified for fighting. Had any of them fought, then they could have been disqualified and suspended for the next game. So for LSU, the answer is none. They won't be down anybody via suspension for the NCAA tournament game. Hey, Kelly Groves, good morning. Bailey C, happy 311 day. My favorite song by them is Amber. I'm way more old school 311 than Amber. And Amber is such a non-sounding 311 song if you kind of listen to the rest of their catalog. Um, I mean, the self-titled album with Down and All Mixed Up and Misdirected Hostility, I love that. From '01, I love I thought You Wouldn't Believe was a great song. I was in college around that time. I love 311. Yeah, 311 is a great band. Nick Newbill, good morning. Great weekend of LSU sports. It was, Nick. Matt Plavidal, any penalties laid down? Nope, not gonna be any penalties for the fighting, except for, as we mentioned, for Cardoza, who was ejected for fighting. Lowell Cormier, good morning. Adam Parker, Dale Broussard, LSU golf team in town for tournament the next couple of days. Okay, Dale. All right, man. Get out there and support. Hey, Melody Benedict Walsh, good morning. Taz, good morning. Would you trade a 2025 pick for Justin Fields? Which pick? Would I trade a 6th or 7th round pick? Yes. I mean, essentially, Jacksonville just traded a 6 for Mac Jones, former number 1 pick. So would I do that? Yep. Brian Broom, good morning. Barry Jocelyn, good morning. Dale, the refs let the game get out of control from the start. Nick, Personally feel it was all escalated by the South Carolina player Watkins. Yeah, I mean, Flau'jae did the right thing to not let the girl score. The one that came and got in Flau'jae's face was the instigator, but then Flau'jae shoved her. I mean, and so that was the chain reaction that got set off. So, um, they could have penalized Flau'jae for the shove, and they didn't. So that's whatever, man. I mean, again, it felt like a horrendous overreaction for one girl knocking another girl down. I mean, it was like there weren't punches thrown. It wasn't like this massive scuffle that involved so many people. Like nobody, I don't even think there was any physical altercation after Cardozo knocked down Flau'jae. So to me, it felt like, can we just you go into the monitor? You felt like it took forever. It's like, look, all right, she's disqualified. Get on with the game. Anyway, Wendell Norman, good morning. Rocky Killian, morning, Matt. Despite the loss, I expect the women to have a deep run of the tournament. Hope they meet South Carolina. If you listen to Kim Mulkey's post game, I thought the most interesting thing that she said was she was asked about, look, with last year's concussion and Angel's foot, ankle injury, whatever, as shorthanded as you are, is it good to have a couple days off? And Kim was like, I want to go play. We want to go play tomorrow. Like they feel like they're playing great, and they are. And it's what you want. It's why Kim's a master at this time of year, man. It's why she's won this thing so many times. She knows how to pace her team to get them ready to play in the tournament. If you're on YouTube, please smash that like button, subscribe up to the channel, Facebook, like the Matt Moscona page, share the post. Larry Garner, good morning. Brian Wynn, Trivia Carter, Taylor Hudson, Joseph Fine, good morning. Man, I love some women's basketball talk. But the shame of it is, Joe's like, we don't even talk about the game or the players or anything. Taz, if the Saints make a splash in free agency, what move would you like to see them make? Well, realistically, I'm just kind of looking at who's out there. I am going to go ahead and assume that they're going to need a safety to replace Marcus May. And you could be confident in Jordan Howden and Jonathan Abram, but do you feel like you have rotational players there? Or do you feel like you have NFL starters in those two guys? And if you feel like you have a starter, okay, but it feels like, look, there's a lot of very accomplished safeties on the market. And guys who are a bit later in their career that it feels like you could get on a bargain basement 1-year deal to provide another bridge to Howden or Abram, however, whatever it may be. I don't know that you're going to be able to afford an edge rusher or starting offensive tackle, but and I think Taz, they're going to address, I hope they're going to address offensive line in the draft at 14. So probably go defense in that first wave of free agency. Jeff Jones, James Avery, good morning. Trivia, I have a strong dislike for South Carolina fans. Hey, man. It's funny how magnetic winning can be, right? You win, and all of a sudden, everybody's a giant fan. And look, Dawn Staley's built a juggernaut over there. She deserves a lot of credit for it. But those diehard women's basketball fans from South Carolina who didn't exist 10 years ago. It's what winning does. Let's see. Melody, typical SEC poo officiating. It was atrocious, especially in the fourth. All refs are bad at their job. Christian, good morning, Matt. Never surprises how polarizing Kim is. Internet was on fire because she basically said Cardozo should have picked on someone her own size. I don't disagree with her. Cardozo should have just not been involved in that at all, quite honestly. But whatever. Brett DeGrow, good morning. Cajun Country, morning. Dragging on stupid daylight savings time. What's your opinion on how to keep an NFL franchise intact? Draft well, trade for value, keep centerpiece of defense. Well, have a great quarterback. I mean, that's really it's if you draft a great quarterback, you're able to build your roster around a guy on a rookie deal. And then once you have to pay your quarterback, you should be established enough to where you know, free agents want to play for you. Your guys want to stay because they have a chance to win. I mean, look at Kansas City. I mean, that's an outlier maybe because Mahomes is so elite, but the flip side of it is look at Baltimore or not Baltimore, Buffalo. You know, they drafted Josh Allen. You ultimately had to pay Josh Allen, and now look at all the cap casualties. All right, y'all. Little bit short on time here. We got to get Drew up in a couple minutes. Let's see. Robert Collins, good morning. Thoughts on Tommy White this year? Bat seems a little cold. He's hitting over 300. There's no doubt he's not hitting as well as he did at the end of last year. But the thing I'll tell you, and I've continued to say, is Tommy White is still coming back from the shoulder injury. So it'll be a progression throughout the course of the season, but I expect he'll round into form. Cortland, good morning. Tony Sparks, someone asked about tours of Tiger Stadium. They are offered, and we've done one. Google Tiger Stadium tour, comes up $10 for adults. Okay, good to know. I didn't know they did that. Hey, Dad, good morning. Let's see. Ronnie Duga, good morning. Jeremy Freeman, James Patrick Descamps. Deborah Coward, good morning. Jerry G, Russell Wilson, 1 year deal with the Steelers. Your thoughts? I think it's Russ is betting on himself because essentially the Steelers got him for free because he's going to be paid by Denver. So, I mean, the Steelers basically got Russell Wilson a 1 year deal for free. So it makes a lot of sense for the Steelers. You get a veteran to come in as an alternative to Kenny Pickett. And if you're Russ, you go to a great organization with a Hall of Fame coach with a chance to revive your career. Billy Freeman, good morning. Let's see. Melody, people are not calling to fire Jay. Our fans are insufferable sometimes. Did anybody say that? I'm sorry. I kind of scrolled through. Bailey C. Me and my uncle laughed at the fire Jay Johnson comments yesterday. I don't think anybody was really saying fire Jay Johnson. It was if anyone did that, my guess it was probably sarcasm. Like, it had to be sarcasm. Probably was. Charlie, I don't like giving away outs, period. Reed Rule, any concerns about Kling at the plate? I know it's early, cold weather. I don't know that I would say concerns, Reed. I mean, do you want him to come along? Of course. And look, the bat last year is the reason that Kling didn't find himself in the everyday lineup. But the thing about Kling is you're talking about a guy that is Kling, Jared Jones, these guys are draft eligible sophomores. So you need to maximize them this year, and they need to maximize their value. So I think with Kling, a lot of it is just he's pressing. If you watch Kling, he is trying to deadpool everything because he's trying to hit homers. And if he just is a little more patient and just tries to hit the ball up the middle, the homers will follow. So like if you watch him, watch how much he opens up when he swings. He is just trying to pull everything. And so everything that's away, he's swinging over the top of it. So I think it'll be fine. Anyway, all right. It's a couple minutes for 8. I got to go get Drew up. I don't want to be late for school. We're late a couple days last week because of the traffic and might be bad again today. So I'm going to bounce. If you're on YouTube, please smash that like button, subscribe up to the channel. Facebook, like the Matt Scone page, share the post. Shout out to our LinkedIn friends as well. As always, shout out to Brock. So if you need an orthopedist, call Brock. They're the best. And of course, if you need a roof, give us a shout 364-1007, 364-1007. Y'all have an awesome day. We will see you for AFR3.